Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind scrappywife.com, and today I have a Bible journal process video for you. I'm going to be using this gorgeous new set from Shauna Klingerman. It is called Ready for Rainbows, and you guys, it is so pretty. It is everything I love. Rainbows, bold colors, and Shauna Klingerman. So you're going to see that I've already cut up and used this some because I used it in my faith planner spread for this week, but I didn't want to reprint it because I do want to use the pieces that I have left. So you have the main kit, which has a ton of different ephemera pieces. Check out, there's some gorgeous florals and balloons that are missing on this page. You have the cards, which we all love from Shauna. So many great cards. And then some gorgeous papers. You have this rainbow stripe, this beautiful, humongous rainbow. Love, love, love. Gorgeous hearts, and then some more florals. So I'm sorry I don't have the complete set to show you. I just couldn't wait, and I used it in my faith planner spread for this week. In fact, let me go grab my faith planner spread and show you what it looks like. Okay, so here is my faith planner spread done with pieces from Shauna's new set. It is so fun, so gorgeous, and I'm really excited to use it. So I'm going to use it for Bible journaling in Ecclesiastes 3, sorry, not Ecclesiastes, Lamentations 3. And I'm going to kind of journal a prayer for the new year. So still a ton of goodies left to work with, and I thought I would bring you guys along. So I'll link everything that I end up using down below. Otherwise, I'll put you guys on fast forward. Let's go. Okay, so something super cool that Shauna is doing this year that is different from previous years is when you buy the set, you get a PNG file. And if you don't know what that is, it is a file that will help you use your Cricut or your Silhouette to cut all of these goodies out much easier. So previously, when I've created cut files for different PDFs, I have to go in and create the cut file, and it just takes a little bit of time. And so sometimes I just opt for fussy cutting. But if you were lucky enough to get a Silhouette or Cricut for Christmas, or maybe you have one already, she's going to start having the PNG files as like bundled together, which I think is super exciting and will save a lot of people a lot of time. So I bet you could have guessed that I was going to use this giant rainbow. There was like no chance that I wasn't going to use the rainbow, and I'll have it, of course, hanging off the page. I'm just adding some of my Tombow adhesive onto the edges, and I'm going to show you here. So I had this whole rainbow cut out. I'm only using part of it because it's going to hang slightly off of the page just like that. So I will cut off the edge, and I didn't want to waste the other half of this rainbow. It took a lot of color to print, and I just love rainbows. So what I'm going to do is actually grab one of my daily pages from my regular planner, and I'm going to put that rainbow right there, and I can write on top of it, and it's ready to go with some fun decor. All right, so the plan is to do a prayer for the new year. And like I said, I am in Lamentations 3, and I'm focusing on verses 22 through 24, actually. It says, "Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him." And this is going to be my starting off point for a prayer for 2022. And I cut out all of these numbers. I'm cutting out 5 of the little cards, and I'm going to use those to write different prayers on, and they're kind of one continuous prayer that'll jump from card to card. And the idea is that it kind of goes with what is written on the front of the card, and it has a lot to do with just remembering that even though the last 2 years have been really hard for a lot of people, including myself, there is always hope because God is always making things new. His compassions never fail, and so I can count on that, and I can walk confidently into 2022 knowing that I have a God who loves me and who has great things planned for me, and I just need to be willing to say yes to the direction that he is planning for my life. I definitely could have gone with just the printables, but of course I wanted to add a little something extra, and I decided to get a little bit messy because what is messier than kind of setting new goals and just seeing where God is going to take you in the new year? I just think it's really exciting. So I am using mostly the Dina Wakley acrylic sprays, but I didn't have a red. So I used a little bit of red acrylic paint, and then you can see I'm just shaking up the yellow spray. And when I just want to do droplets like this, I unscrew it and just tap on it like this. And instead of actually using the spray nozzle. So I am just getting messy, adding some extra acrylic splatters. This is a lot. Of course, this is going to be a lot of color on the page. That's what I like. So I just want to encourage you, if you are new to Bible journaling and you're not sure what your style is, try some different things. I tried doing a minimalist style. I tried doing vintage styles. I've tried doing a lot of different styles. The one that I'm generally drawn to is styles that are really vivid, really bright, and pages that are really, really full of all kinds of things. And so that is what really makes my heart happy. That is what speaks to me as I'm working on a Bible journaling page. So I just embrace that style, and messy is definitely part of that. So now that I've done all of this spraying and all of this splattering, I'm going to put that aside and let it dry and take my attention to these little cards. I'm actually going to mat them on white cardstock because I want to be able to write on the back. I didn't necessarily print on super thick paper. I could have just left it how it was, but I also wanted to add a little bit of a stitching detail. So I'm going to trim these out and leave that little white border all around the edge. And then I'm going to come back with my black Papermate Flair pen to add a stitching detail around the edge. And then I'm going to use actually one of my Happy Planner stencils that has lines to add a few lines on the back. So you can see I'm just going to add this little stitching all around the edges and then some lines on the back of each one so that I will be able to add a prayer. And this is just a little bit of detail. When you're using printables, you can certainly use them straight off the printer, use them as is, but I always like to change them up in some way just to alter them, make them my own, add some fun little details that speak to you. And that really makes it, gives you a little bit more ownership. It's awesome getting to use all of the artwork of these amazing artists that put out these printables, and I'm so thankful that they do. But I do like changing it just a bit so it fits my style. Okay, at this point, I'm going to fill in my prayer. So in the first card, it says, I believe that you have good things in store for me because you love and care for me. The second card, it says, Lord, I will say yes to your direction and guidance for my life. Number 3, it says, help me to show goodness and love to all I encounter. Help me to be a light. 4 says, you make things new, no matter how far gone we may feel. You will renew us all. And number 5 says, may all I do this year be done in love as you have loved me. So you can see it's kind of like setting goals or resolutions, if you will, for the new year, but it's focusing them on God and what God has to do with my life and what He calls me to be in this world. Now it is time to assemble. So the prayer is on the back of each of these cards. I'm trying to make sure the last few splatters are dry, and spoiler alert, they're not. And so I put a card down and it does get some red paint on it. No big deal. Just a little red paint where my prayer is, but you can't see it on the final page. And it doesn't really bother me because you can still read the prayer. So I'm actually just going to use Scotch tape. Normally I would use washi, but I wanted it to be clear because I didn't really need any more pattern on the page. And what I'm doing is creating a hinge on the piece of paper. So this is typically called a tip-in with Bible journaling. And what that means is you're attaching an extra piece that can be flipped in some way so that you can read the back of it or look at the back of it. And it kind of gives you some extra journaling space. So if you are using a regular sized journaling Bible instead of the big illustrating Bible like this, it gives you more space to write and things like that. So there's all kinds of tip-ins, but what you do is just add tape on one edge so that it opens like a book. And then don't forget to add tape on the inside edge just to make sure it's nice and secure. So you can see I'm adding all those in, adding in the numbers near where each box is just to kind of show you the flow of how the boxes will go. And I'm super happy. I think it's so fun and bright and colorful. It's just a lot of fun. The last finishing touches I want to do would be to add some tabs. I love that we have these pre-done tabs in Shauna's set. So I'm actually going to just grab my We Are Memory Keepers tab punch. It's like a must-have item for Bible journalers, and it really makes it easy to cut out these tabs without having to fussy cut them. But of course, if you're using the PNG files, your Cricut or Silhouette will take care of that for you. So I'll layer a couple of tabs, and then I will make sure to mark the verses and date my page so that I will remember when I did it and why I was setting these intentions. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what some of your intentions are for 2022. I'd love to hear about it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I have all of the supplies that I used linked down below. You can find all of these new sets from Shana Klingerman in the Illustrated Faith Print and Pray shop, so make sure to check them out. I also have a link to my new Patreon setup, my new Patreon account. So if you're interested in finding out about some of the perks you can receive as one of my patrons, then make sure to check that link in the description box. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.